All right, so today we are looking at paragraph formatting in Microsoft Word. Let us begin. Remember that you can always visit our website at blindaccessibilitytips.com to get these lessons, all these lessons in text as you wish. For this specific lesson today, you can actually go to blindaccessibilitytips.com/paragraph dash formatting and you will see this tutorial there in text. All right, so let us get into the video now. What is paragraph formatting? Paragraph formatting is basically changing how a block of text looks in Microsoft Word. So whether or not you want the text to be aligned to one margin, so it's straight along those margins, or if you want the text to be centered, or you can even look at the spacing between the lines of the text, or you can also decide that you want your text to be in the form of a bulleted list or a numbered list, right? That is what we're going to be looking at today. And we're going to look at each of those things. So let's first begin with changing the way the text aligns.
So we are going to use keystrokes to do our text alignment. Yes, of course, we could go into our menus to do the same thing, but the keystrokes are actually pretty easy to remember and pretty handy. So we're just going to use the keystrokes to do our text alignment today. All right, so remember now to do any form of formatting, you must select the text that you want it to be done to. So I'm just going to select my heading here.
Paragraph format.
It's going to use Control Shift down arrow to select it.
Paragraph formatting in Microsoft Word selected.
Got it selected. Now, the first keystroke we're going to look at is Control L, which is to left align. Gonna press that.
Left aligned.
And it says left align, which means right now our text that we have selected is now lined up straight along the left margin. It's important to note though that these keystrokes that we're going to go through, they are toggle keystrokes, and so they will cycle between different kinds of text alignment formatting. So for instance, this text has already just been left aligned. We use Control L. If we press Control L again, it will do another kind of formatting. Doing that Control L,
Justified.
it goes into justify, which means that any set of text that you have justified, it means that the text will be aligned on both the left and right sides, straight along both left and right margins, right? So Microsoft Word has the ability to space out all the words in a line to ensure that the text appears straight on both left and right margins. That's what justify means. But again, if you press Control L, it will return to the left align.
Left aligned.
And there it is. So if you keep pressing Control L, it will cycle you between left align, which the keystroke is for left align. But if you press it again, it will go to justify and it will cycle you between the two, right? Okay, let us look at another one now. To right align is Control R.
Right aligned.
That is it, goes right aligned, which means that the text is now straight along the right hand side, but not necessarily so much on the left, right? Let me see, if I press Control R again, what does it cycle me to?
Left aligned.
It cycles me to the left align. If I press it again,
right aligned,
it goes back to right align, which the keystroke really is for. Control R is for right align. All right, you can also justify your text. The keystroke specifically for justifying is Control J.
Justified.
Right, that is it. You can also seek to center your text, and of course, centering your text tends to be used for that text that is a heading. For instance, this for me, paragraph formatting in Microsoft Word, is a heading, so I will choose to center it. To center any text, the keystroke is Control E.
Centered.
And there it is.
Okay, so the other thing I want to show you is line spacing. Now, by default, Microsoft Word may have it in 1.1 or 1.2 or so on. But you may need to alter the line spacing of your text. Maybe you need to create a document that must be double spaced or single spaced. Let us look at a quick way to do that. All right, so of course, first you must select the text that you want to perform the action on, and we already have something selected there. So the next step would be to press your applications key. Going to do that now.
Cut. Control plus X.
And of course the context menu comes up, and we're going to down arrow to find paragraph.
Copy. Font. Paragraph. Paragraph settings.
Gonna enter on this.
Paragraph dialog general indentation spacing.
And it opens up the paragraph dialog box. Now there are many different things that you can do inside this dialog box, but we are going to just tab through until we hear the option where we can change our line spacing. So I'm going to tab.
Outline level. Combo left. Edit alt plus right. Edit alt plus special. Combo by. Edit alt mirror indents check before. Edit after. Edit alt line spacing. Combo box multiple alt plus N.
And we're at line spacing and it says multiple. So we can use our arrow keys to change the option here. We are looking for double space.
Line spacing. Combo box. Exactly.
That says exactly. That's just down arrow. Multiple.
Exactly.
Let me go back up.
At least. Double.
That's double.
1.5 lines.
That's 1.5 lines.
Single.
And single. And that's the top one. Let's go back down to double since that's the option we want.
1.5 line double.
And I'm going to just enter from here because I'm done. I don't want any other changes to be made in this dialog box. So I'm just going to enter from here. To enter again, enter twice.
Paragraph formatting in Microsoft Word. Microsoft Word document.
And the dialog box closes and you're placed back into your document. And the action of double spacing has been applied.
Now let's look at creating bulleted and numbered lists. In Microsoft Word, special formatting can be applied to make the items in a list easily recognizable. You can either create a bulleted list or a numbered list. A numbered list is easy to understand. It is where the items in a list, each of them is denoted by numbers, increasing in value as the numbers of items in the list increase. A bulleted list, however, is created when the items in a list, they are denoted by bullets. And bullets really are just special little icons or pictures that are placed in front of each of these items so that you can know that this is one item of the list and that's another one, right? Okay, so to create either bulleted or numbered list, you can create it in one of two ways. Either you have a pre-existing list, which you can then go and select and apply formatting, or you can actually trigger the list format in Microsoft Word by typing certain things, right? So we look at each of them. Firstly, of course, we'll begin with having a pre-existing list. All right, so let us see the items I have here. I'm just going to press the down arrow so you can hear them.
Pencils. Pens. Notebooks.
All right, I have 3 items in my simple list here. The items of my list here are one-word items, but note please that Microsoft Word considers anything separated by the Enter key to be one item. So an item in a list can be one word as well as it can be an entire paragraph. All right, let us go and select my list now.
Blank.
Which is the first thing you must do.
Pencils.
I'm in front of pencil. I'm just going to use the keystroke Control Shift down arrow to select all 3 items.
Pencil selected. Pen selected.
So first we're going to create a bulleted list, and the first way I'm going to show you to create a bulleted list is by way of a keystroke. We're going to look at 2 other ways, but the first and easiest way is a keystroke, which is Control Shift L. And it says nothing, but it has been done. So let us just up arrow to remove this selection.
Blank.
And then we can come back down and listen to what we're hearing.
Bullet pencils.
Bullet pencils.
Bullet pens. Bullet notebooks.
Right. So the bullets have been applied to each of the items that we selected as being part of our list, right? Now, please note that when you use this keystroke, Control Shift L, it applies the bullet that is the default, which is usually the solid circle, right? So that's the first way to create your bulleted list. Now let's go by way of the menu ribbons. So I undid the bullets that were there before, and I have reselected again my 3-item list. Now we're going to use the menus, and the reason we're going to go into the menu ribbons is because we need to also understand how we can change the kinds of bullets that we apply to our list, right? Of course, we press our Alt key to access menu.
Ribbon tabs, tab control expanded. Home tab selected all.
Alright, it's already on home, so I'm just going to tab through until I hear bullets. Now it's going to be a long way, so let us just keep going. Let's keep tabbing until we hear it.
Home group, cut button, copy, office, font, fonts, home, change, clear, bold, italic, underlines, strike, sub, super, text, font, paragraph, numbering split, bullets split button, none collapsed bullets, create a bulleted list. Click the arrow to change.
Right, and now we're on bulleting, to create a bulleted list. Now, if the version of Word I'm using, if you press enter here, it will automatically select the default bullets and apply it, just like what the keystroke Ctrl-Shift-L did. But we don't want to do that. We want to open the menu, which will allow us to see the other kinds of formatting or the other kinds of bullets that we can apply. To open this menu, which is a split button, you would have to use Alt down arrow.
Bullets data grid, bullet library grouping, none 2 of 9.
And it says none 2 of 9. That's the first one. Let's down arrow in this list, or you could actually use your right arrow. I have found, but let's down arrow.
Bulleted, hollow arrow not selected 8 of 9.
It says bulleted hollow arrow. Right? And that tells you, it's telling you the kind of bullet you would get with this, the kind of symbol. It would be an arrow that's empty, no shading. All right, that one again.
Bulleted, solid circle not selected 3 of 9.
Solid circle. This is the one that is the default. Let me hear another one.
Bulleted, check mark not selected 9 of 9.
This would be a check mark.
Bulleted, hollow circle not selected.
Hollow circle, meaning a circle with no shading in it.
Bulleted, solid square not selected 5 of 9.
Solid square.
Picture bulleted not selected 6 of 9.
And there are different pictures you can choose
bulleted,
as well.
4 small diamonds not selected
4
7
small
of 9.
diamonds.
Recently used bullets grouping. Bulleted, solid circle not selected.
And it's
1
telling
of
me
9.
that I recently used the solid circle. All right, let me go down to the check mark. Say I wanted the check mark.
Bullet library, bulleted, hollow arrow, bulleted, solid circle, bulleted, check mark not selected.
All
9
right,
of
good.
9.
I'm just going to press enter on this one.
Microsoft Word document edit multi-line selected pencils, pens, notebooks.
I'm going to up arrow to move the
Page
selection
1, section 1 blank.
and then go back down.
Check pencils.
And it says check pencils, down again.
Check pens. Check notebooks.
Right, and that is how you can do it inside the menu ribbon to change the kinds of bullets you want. All right, so I have removed the bullets again, and we're going to apply bullets again using the menu ribbons. But of course, we just realized that tabbing through the lower ribbons to get to bullets is a very long process. So this time we are going to use the key tips. Now I've already done a video showing how to navigate the menu ribbons using key tips, right? So you can go back and watch that. I'll put the link in the description below. But let us now use the key tips. And I know that the key tip to get to bullets is Alt H U L. And you have to press each of those things one after the other. So first, I'm going to go ahead and press Alt.
Ribbon tabs, tab control expanded. Home tab selected Alt, H2 of 10.
And I'm going to press H, then press U, and then press L.
L, bullets data grid, bullet library grouping.
And there we go. It opens up the menu, which we can now down arrow through to decide which of the bullets we want. This case, I think I'm going to select the solid circle.
Bulleted, hollow arrow not recently used bullets, bullet library group, bulleted, check mark not selected 10 of 10. Bulleted, hollow circle not bulleted, solid square not selected, picture bulleted not selected, bulleted, 4 small, recently used bullets grouping, bulleted, check mark not bullet library grouping, none 3 of 10, bulleted, hollow arrow not recently used bullets grouping, bulleted, solid circle not selected 2 of 10.
I may have skipped that before, but I've finally gotten back to it, so I'm going to just press enter on it.
Microsoft Word document edit.
All right, let's up arrow to take off this selection.
Page 1, section 1 blank.
And come back down.
Bullet pencils. Bullet pens. Bullet notebooks.
Yes, there we have it. Our list has been bulleted. All right, now let's create a numbered list. I have the list again. It has no formatting anymore. No list formatting anymore, at least. Now I want to create a numbered list with the same 3 items. Now, there's no keystroke for this, but you would then have to go into the menu ribbons. Of course, you could press your Alt key, left or right arrow to hear home. Upon hearing home, then you would tab through the lower ribbons until you hear numbered lists, and then you could press enter on that, and it would apply the default numbering format to your list. I, however, know the key tips to get to the numbered list, and I prefer to open the menu that comes underneath it. So let us use the key tips to get to the numbered list instead of tabbing through the lower ribbon, which is much longer. So my list has been selected already, of course. Now I'm going to press Alt H N, each by themselves. Alt,
Ribbon tabs, tab control
then H,
expanded. H,
and then N.
N, numbering data grid, numbering library grouping, none 1 of 8.
And it opens the numbering grouping, and you can down arrow to change a different kind of numbered list that you might want. It's on none, so let's down arrow.
I, 2, 3, alignment right, number format.
And this says I, 2, 3. From here I, that implies that this would be give you the kind of numbering that's in Roman numerals, right? Let's down arrow.
A, B, C, alignment left.
So you can get numbering in terms of A, B, C. Let's down arrow again.
1, 2, 3, alignment left.
And this is the regular one. 1, 2, 3. Let's down arrow again.
A, B, C, alignment left.
And there are different kinds of A, B, C. Can be
alignment, left 5 of 8.
all right. I'm gonna go back up to the 1, 2, 3.
1, 2, 3, alignment left.
And I'm just gonna press enter on this one.
Document 1 word. Microsoft Word.
All right. Let's up arrow to remove the selection.
Page 1 section
And
1
down
blank.
arrow.
1 pencils.
1 pencils.
2 pens. 3 notebooks.
And there it is. Very easy to create a numbered list. Just use the key tip Alt H N. It opens the menu in which you could then down arrow to choose the kind of numbered list you want, and then just press enter. And the kind of numbered list that you selected would be applied to your list. Now, before we go on into looking at the second way in which you can create a bulleted list or numbered list, let's just look at how you can continue a bulleted or numbered list, or how you can discontinue either one of those lists. So first, if you are at the last item of your list, let me press my down arrow.
3 notebooks.
3 notebooks.
3 notebooks.
Right. So it's not going any further. That's my last item. But I've decided, I want to add something else. Ensure that you are at the end of this word notebooks, the end of this item. So I'm going to use my end key.
Line feed.
And then press enter.
4.
And the list is continue. It gives you the number 4. So I'm going to type paper.
P-A-P-E-R.
And if I want the list to continue again, I press enter again.
5.
And the list will continue. If I decide, no, I do not want the list to continue, I want to stop it, I just need to press the enter once more. And the 5 disappears, as you can see. Well, let me up arrow so we can hear it. Up arrow. Blank space.
4 paper.
And now there's 4 paper. And if you're down arrow,
Blank.
there's a blank. So to continue any list, whether it's a numbered list or a bulleted list, get to the end of the last item in the list and press the enter key. The numbering or the bulleting will continue. If, however, you want to discontinue the list, press that enter key twice and the numbering or the bulleting will end. All right, let us look now at triggering the auto list format in Microsoft Word. So you don't have a pre-existing list. You just know you want to create a list right now and you want the list formatting to be applied immediately as you go along, right? So first, let us look at triggering the numbered list format. So you could press the number 1, which of course would be denoting the first item in a list.
1.
Press any separator like a dot or a bracket or so. I'm going to use dot. And then space. And type your first items, PENS. Then press enter.
2.
And there we go. Microsoft Word understands and applies the list formatting for numbers and begins to continue the numbering for you. Let me type another item, PAPER. Press enter again.
3.
And it puts 3 there. So to jumpstart that list a while ago. What I did was press 1 dot space, type the first item, and then press enter. Microsoft Word will understand and will continue the numbering for you. Let me just press enter twice to discontinue this list, and then I'm going to press enter to go below. Now, in this new line, I want to jumpstart or trigger a bulleted list. Now, to trigger a bulleted list, you can use the star key as well as the dash twice. Let us use the star. So pressing star and then space. Then I'm going to type my first item.
PENS.
Press enter.
Bullet.
And there you go. It puts in the default bullet for me, which should be the solid circle. Let me just type another item. PAPER. Press enter again.
Bullet.
And you realize the bulleting is continuing. Let me press enter twice to discontinue this list again. And then I'm going to press enter one more time to go in a free line. I'm going to use this time now the dash. So pressing the dash twice.
Dash.
Followed by space.
Space.
I'm going to type my first item again.
PENS.
Press enter.
Black square.
And it says black square. That's another kind of bulleting. Let's type my second item. PAPER. And press enter.
Black square.
Yes, and the numbering is the bulleting is continuing. All right, so that is how you can trigger the auto list format in Microsoft Word. So that is it for paragraph formatting. I hope you learned and understood what was done here. Remember that you can always go to blindaccessibilitytips.com to view tutorials on how to use the Windows computer as a blind person or visually impaired person. There are tutorials there in text if you'd prefer to have the information in text. The tutorial for this specific lesson, the link for it will be found in the description, so you can go and check it out. Remember, you can always like and share this video with anyone who would need it. Thanks for watching.